As just mentioned, we are in the middle of the hydrogen mechanism first round. We will focus on this today. But for your background, the next mechanism on raw materials is coming up already in March with the first round. The registrations are already ongoing. And then later, I used to say next year, but it's already this year. In April, we are starting registrations to the third mechanism, which is a gas mechanism and biomethane mechanism. Maybe a preview for those of you who are new to our work, a reminder what the hydrogen mechanism is about. In a nutshell, we are connecting the demand and supply, European demand with European and international supply. We support infrastructure development for hydrogen and derivatives. And finally, we are linking hydrogen promoters, hydrogen off-takers and suppliers with financial institutions and financial products. Important caveat, as most of you know, we cover hydrogen and derivatives. So we are not stopping with hydrogen. There is methanol, ammonia, eSAF, and e-methane on our platform already, among the products you can choose. And what is also very relevant is that we don't only focus on renewable, but also low carbon. So now we will move to where we stand with the ongoing round. The submissions of supply offers ended on 2nd of January. We have seen a lot of interest in the last days, which is also a lesson for the future on how we would like to encourage you to subscribe and make your offers on the supply side and on the offtake side as early as possible, not to wait for the very last days, because you never know what happens with the system and if we would be able to manage the submissions. In this case, we have managed to deal with all supply offers. Everything is correctly encoded. Now we are already during the second phase, which is the submission, the expression of interest on the offtake side. This phase has started on the 19th of January and will continue until 20th of March. So we are still in the early days. There's still quite some time, but we encourage you to review the supply offers and to express interest as soon as possible, and definitely always before the deadline. Then by the 31st of March, there will be result of matching, and you will be able to review your personalized offers, results of matching between supply and the offtake side. I think here what is important to signal is that for those of you on the offtake side that did not manage to subscribe yet, the indicative deadline to subscribe is 28th of February, correct? Yes. So it is well in advance of the end of the expression of interest phase, because we want to make sure that the process of registration, which is a bit time consuming on our side, because we are reviewing carefully the documents submitted. So we encourage you to fit within this deadline, because after 28th of February, we may not be in a position to guarantee, if you come very late, that we are able to treat your registration, and it will be really a pity. So now we are moving to the high-level presentation of the results of the first phase of the supply phase. And before I give you a preview, I would like to remind you a few caveats. So first of all, the results that you will see are not in any way our judgment on the future development of the supply side on hydrogen market in Europe or beyond. This is very much based on the results. There's fully based on the results submitted on our platform by the registered entities. So this is self-reported declarations. You will not be able to see any names of companies. The data is anonymous and aggregated to make sure that no business secrets or no commercial strategies are released in this presentation or in any other public presentation, actually. You will see that quite often we refer to projects which are in different phases of developments, including so-called advanced projects. What we mean by advanced projects is projects which are at least at FID phase or beyond, so in construction operation or that reached already FID. So I think we can move to the results. Here, the main information we would like to share with you is that we have had a lot of interest. We had more than 140 companies registered successfully on the platform, Much more companies were actually interested to register, but for different reasons, they were not able to qualify under our rules. And these companies registered 265 projects. So what you see, this is the supply offers are made on the basis of 265 projects, of which 194 are projects based in the European Union. So these are pretty significant numbers. Maybe one more piece of information, around 15% of these 265 projects are in our denomination considered advanced projects. So these are projects which are either in operation already, in construction, or past FID phase. That's 15%, which is just below 40 projects out of 265. Here you can see a visualization. We have always claimed that this is a gateway for companies both in the European Union, but also third countries. And I think this map shows that there is quite a lot of areas where projects take place or being developed and who subscribe to our platform. You can see, in addition to Europe, of course, you can see also Asia, Australia, South America, Africa, and North America. So quite a good distribution of the supply origin of projects on our platform. We are very happy to welcome everyone from Europe and from third countries, actually. Now to zoom in on the European Union and to give you a bit of a flavor where the delivery locations are as chosen by the suppliers, potential suppliers. So potential suppliers have chosen 20 to deliver in 20 member states, which is pretty good coverage out of 27 member states currently. In terms of more granular perception of where the delivery could take place, we are covering 160 regions out of 244. By European regions, what we mean is a particular region that we use in the European Commission, which is the NUTS division. You don't have to be fully aware what the NUTS is because it varies quite a lot, the size of NUTS regions across Europe. But what is important is that 160 of those regions, which are at maximum a member state, in some cases they are much smaller and there are many of them per member state, 160 of them are covered by potential deliveries out of 244 across the European Union, which I think is quite a good result. It's well beyond 50%. And when we take into account that some of the regions are a member state and some are very precise territories, then it's even more impressive. In addition, as you know, you were able on the supply side to pick European ports and airports. We have quite an impressive number of seaports selected by participants, 57. Personally, I don't know how many ports we have in Europe, but I'm sure that all major ports are covered, or at least most of them, with potential suppliers seeing them as delivery entry points, and 25 European airports, which is also quite significant. Now moving to volumes. This is statistics that might be interesting for you. So first, what we would like you to retain from this slide and what is information we believe which is significant. So this slide is about volumes, potential supply volumes by 2030. We divide the projects and their volumes into three categories depending on the maturity of the supply project. So on the left-hand side, you see projects which are at the feasibility stage, so less mature. And here we have 5.4 million tons per year of renewable hydrogen and derivatives, both renewable and low carbon. Then the middle graph is front-end engineering and design, so projects that already moved beyond the feasibility study but are not yet at FID phase, so projects which are maturing but not yet ready to take the final business decision. And here we have almost 10 million tons per year of hydrogen derivatives, both renewable and low carbon. And finally, a very interesting statistics, among the projects that were signaled and supplied on our platform, 2.3 million tons are by projects by 2030, which are already FID, in operation or in construction. So I think this is very significant. Altogether, we have here a bit more than 17 million tons. It's a snapshot. We don't get attached to this number, but this is to give you an idea on where we stand. I think one more thing that we can say about this slide is that majority of volumes across the different maturity levels is about renewable hydrogen and derivatives. The volumes by 2030 of low carbon hydrogen and derivatives are significantly smaller. I hope you see it in color, which means the middle area, which is light blue, right? This is the renewable. So it's 90% in terms of volumes around, very not scientifically calculating. All right, I think this is the right time that I pass the floor to Clément. Clément will tell you more about other aspects that we noticed after the supply round.
Yes, thank you, Maciek, and good afternoon, everyone. One last element on this item that you currently see on your screen, and here it's speaking to the off-takers in the call. Our message to you is whatever your current level of development, if you are interested in hydrogen for the future, short-term or long-term, there are volumes for you on the platform. If you are a bit less advanced, if you are looking for volumes far into the future, we have potential project partners for you. Plenty of projects, including very serious, which are currently at feasibility stage. And if you are looking for a bit shorter term products, we have some volumes which are almost ready to move, quite a lot at FEED stage, and some which are already advanced. So whatever your profile, whatever your corporate strategy, we believe there is something for you on the platform that will be worth your time. The second aspect, which will also be worth your time, because we know it's a lot of interest, more than half of the projects that have joined the platform have included a price indication. Price indication means hard number, non-binding, of course, but still there are a lot of projects are providing you with a figure that you can only access if you join and express interest, but that will for sure help your own strategy and the way you want to enter this market. And even more of the projects have also provided some pricing description, because we know it's very interesting as well, not only to know what would be the expected figures, because these will have to be negotiated, of course, but also to know how the suppliers would like to invoice these products, would like to build them. So really a lot of data points, significant access to price indications are available for the off-takers that will take the time to register and express their interest. We will dive a bit deeper into the project and the product types that you can expect as an off-taker on the platform. Here we are looking at the projects with a 2035 time horizon. Three main findings. You can expect to see a lot of H2 renewable projects. So you see the bubble on the left-hand side of your screen, but the volumes, as expected, unsurprisingly, are largely renewable ammonia. If you are interested into derivatives, we offered to suppliers 8 alternative derivatives: ammonia, methanol, e-methane, e-SAF, both renewable and low carbon variation. 7 of those products have been chosen, and for 7 of those derivatives, you can expect to find projects which are willing to bring this volume to the market. Again, so whatever your corporate strategy, whichever derivative you are interested into, there are some volumes for you on the platform. So it's really worth your time to make the registration and browse through everything that there is to offer. And of course, we will show you in the meeting today how to do so. Finally, a small sidestep to the participants in the call, which are financial institutions. 155 of the projects we collected have agreed to share their submission with financial institutions. If you are a bank, if you wish to support project promoters in the hydrogen ecosystem, by registering on the platform, you will gain access to 155 different submissions placed by projects. And a lot of those have also indicated which financing needs they have. So it's a good entry point for you as financial institution to gain more insight onto the market and to potentially find new business opportunities. So with this first part, we wanted to, of course, report on the main results, to explain to the off-takers and to the financial institutions which are in the call why it makes sense to take the time to register and to participate. And of course, now we will explain exactly how to do it. So it will be a bit more technical. We will take you through the various steps of how to place an expression of interest, what kind of results you can expect. And then, as Maciek was saying, we will have ample time to go through a Q&A session and clarify anything that needs to be clarified.
Maybe one point before we move on. To address burning questions, I think I consider two burning questions already in the chat. One is if the PowerPoint will be shared and if the video will be available. So in terms of PowerPoint, a version of this presentation will be shared, but it will not be exactly. So we ask you to follow it carefully because there are not all elements which we believe are to be shared. But a version of this presentation will be shared. And yes, this presentation is recorded, as I mentioned at the very beginning, and we will also make some edits to it. So some parts, such as Q&A, will not be part of it, but it will be published. Other questions I see, there's only one point that I want to signal because I think it's very important. It's about the number of projects, and then the rest of the questions we take later on. The question is if 265 projects, if this is bids or companies, and this is actually neither of that. It is projects signaled by companies. There were more and more bids because there is a possibility of having several bids from one project, and also a company can have several projects. So this is something in between. It's not bids, it's really projects by potential suppliers.
Now, again, this part will be more addressed to the off-takers in the call. The window for you has opened last week. The timing that you need to remember, Maciek mentioned it already, you have until the 20th of March to consult the information sheets. Information sheets are anonymized, summarized extract of the supply offer, and to express your interest. If you are not yet registered, we strongly advise you to make your registration before the end of February to ensure that we can validate it on time. So the two key dates, register before the 28th of February and then place your expression of interest before the 20th of March at midnight. Who can do what in the current phase? The suppliers phase closed. We are talking, of course, about the off-taker phase now. Off-takers can access info sheet, can cancel or edit their demand request until the 20th of March. So it's really the phase for off-takers. And on the 31st of March, suppliers and off-takers will gain access to their personalized results. This is, as an off-taker, what you can see if you connect to the platform today. As you've seen already in the webinar, we've collected a lot of interest in the first phase. So as you can see from the map of Europe currently on the screen, there are plenty of supply offers which can be accessed, that you can pause through, that you can browse, and that you can decide for which one you want to express an interest. We have two recommendations to make in terms of how you should approach this phase for the off-takers. The first one is to express your interest. It's the only way by which you can gain full access to the supply offers which have been placed on the platform. You are always in control of what to decide to share, and it's always your decision to engage or not. Meaning you can come to the platform, decide not to express your interest, and no one will know that you were there. You can come and express your interest, and we invite you to do so, but you will do it on the basis of information that you are willing to share. And during the result phase, you will know the name of the suppliers for which you express an interest, but it will still be your decision if you want to pick up the phone or if you want to reply to the emails that you will receive. And the same, of course, goes for the suppliers that will gain access similar information. Anything and everything that is shared on the platform is non-binding. The second recommendation is because we collected a lot of supply offers, we invite you to make use of the aggregation feature. You can create as many aggregation as you want. One possibility in terms of practice is that you could decide to group all of the supply offers which are interested for you because they have the right product, the right profile, the right level of development, create an aggregation for them and express an interest into the whole aggregation, which will make your life and the usefulness of the platform better for you. Now, in terms of process, there are 3 steps that you may follow. We invite you to consult the supply offer. You can aggregate, and then we invite you to express your interest. We will go one by one in the following slides, and for how to consult the supply offer, I pass the floor to Lesia.
Yes, thank you. So this is the screen which you as off-taker will see once you log in. On the left-hand side, you will see the list of all supply offers. In the middle, this is the map. You see how supply offers are spread geographically. On the right-hand side, you see something which is actually very useful given the number of supply offers which we collected for this round. This is called filters. So we encourage you to use these filters to tailor them to the needs of your company and of your offtake projects. And the filters are very different, and they could be helping you to select different projects, products and group them together, delivery locations. You can use filters for project status and so on. So another important thing which you can do, you can create an aggregation. And if you move to the next slide, you will see a small rectangular. This is the one you saw on the left-hand side. It's a short information about your submission. It's something which you can get more information about when you click on the small rectangular yellow, which you just have seen clicked. And this is where you see two more sections. The upper section is just a repetition and a short description of the submission, the type of product. You can see the delivery location. You can see the project, project location, and the project status, and so on. The middle part would give you more information about something which we called submission highlights. This is basically where you can learn how exhaustive the information provided by the supplier is. And this is where you get more information if, for example, price indication has been provided. That allows you to get a better understanding about this submission. And the final part is something which we call the profile. This is the volumes spread over time until 2050, which were part of this submission. And finally, what you can do, of course, you could consult one submission, but you could decide to aggregate those submissions. What is very important is that you obviously can aggregate only the same products. This is something to keep in mind. And then once you create this aggregation by clicking in the middle lower part in the yellow, you can see in the PowerPoint presentation, you give a name to this aggregation. And this is the name which can later on be shared and will be shared by the potential partner of yours. But the process until the 20th of March, you can easily amend this aggregation. You can play with it, you can rename it, you can modify it, and so on. But once it's submitted, you have to keep in mind that the name will be then shared. And now I pass the floor to Mathilde, and she will walk you through the next stage of the process, which is actually called expression of interest.
Thank you, Lesia. Indeed. So once you have you had a look at the offers, maybe made some aggregation, you have the possibility to express interest. So in the interface that Lesia showed you just before, you will have the tiles with offers and aggregation. And on the bottom left, as you can see, you will have a button, Express Interest. To express interests, you need to make a submission yourself. So when you click on the button, you will then have access to a form where you will have the possibility to include information on your project. Here you can also reuse some projects from your project library. Information on your products and volumes, on your pricing and contracting preferences, on delivery locations, and on contact details. Same for the aggregations. The expressions of interest are not definitive until 20th of March, which means that until then, you have the possibility to modify them or even cancel them. Then on the next slide, I will describe a bit more the information that you need to include in your submissions. So first, information on your offtake project, including the name of your project, of course, the status, a description. You can also indicate more detail on the website, the address, your maximum consumption capacity, the sector and subsector, and the permitting status. Basically, you need to include the same level of information that what the suppliers have included. And this information on supplier side will be available to you after the results. So end of March. As an off-taker, you may use one project in multiple submissions, first option, or also create multiple projects, also on behalf of your subsidiaries. Then some tips on how to fill in your products and volumes. So first thing is, as an off-taker, you can only express interest in the same product as the supply offers. So as a supply offer, you're expressing interest in. Of course, if you may express interest for supply offers with different products, so supply offer 1 with product 1, you would provide interest for product 1, and product 2, you express interest in product 2. You have 7 products on the platform, which are on this slide, all in renewable and low carbon form. And then when you express your volume, first, you can express interest for only a share of the volume offered by the supplier. The unit is tons per year. So you have the possibility to indicate it year per year until 2050. And then you can have a discontinued consumption profile, meaning that you can leave some years at 0. Then on the next slide, I present more on what to expect on the delivery locations. So we have seen different strategies from suppliers on how to appeal to you suppliers. So they could choose one type of delivery location between a region, so the NUTS2, an exact address, some airports, or some ports, and they could provide up to 5 delivery locations of the same type in one single offer. So we have seen different strategies and different behaviors. The common ones were or to create multiple submissions, so several times a similar offer, but with different delivery locations, batches of 5 per 5, to cover an entire member state or an entire region, or different types of delivery locations, or spreading some regions across the zones that were of interest for them as a basis for discussion. So when you will express interest as an off-taker, you have different options on the next slide, thank you, which are or indicating your own regions, or reusing the deliveries of the suppliers. So if you do so, reusing the supplier's submission, you have a button, copy all suppliers deliveries button that you can see on, it will be in the form to express interest on the delivery location section. And here you can, yes, reuse the delivery locations, keeping in mind that this is non-binding, that this is a basis for discussion, and that you can also, if you change your mind, change this until 20th March. And additionally, there is no consequence if you express interest in different submissions of the same supplier. On the contrary, we encourage you to do it if this supply offer is of interest to you and you are flexible or interested in different delivery locations. And a reminder also, you need to express this interest to be able to access the information of the suppliers at the results phase. And about this phase, I will pass the floor to my colleague, Alexander.
Thank you, Mathilde. I will step in just with 2 burning questions, with replies to 2 burning questions. One burning question was about a participant who couldn't see the presentation I understand that this is only an isolated case, so I hope you can see our presentation now. We don't have any other feedbacks from other participants that they wouldn't see it. So we would just suggest that you reconnect with WebEx. Maybe this will help. And the second burning question was, where can I access the platform? Is there a link? So towards the end of the presentation, and we are nearing the end of presentation, there are all the links where you can basically use them directly and subscribe to the newsletter as well. So stay tuned for another 5 minutes and you'll get all the links. Alex.
Yes, thank you very much. So a round ends with the results for suppliers and off-takers. Both sides get the results simultaneously. This will happen on the last day of March for the round we are currently running. Each of the registered and participating participants will be able to consult their results and on this basis contact possible counterparts. The platform also offers you a way to manage those contacts in the sense that you can assign statutes and make some notes with regard to the different offers and the different companies. The results will stay with you. They will not be erased after a certain period of time or with a new round starting, so you can keep an archive of what you did. So the next slide shows you the dashboard. Your dashboard where you see the results, your matches. So this is the moment where, as an off-taker, you go beyond the information sheet. This is where you can access the more detailed information, and as I said, you can make some notes and assign status, worth following up or not, etc. So the next slide shows the details. So if you click on one of those tiles on your dashboard, you see more information about the offer, the sale offer you were matched with, and then you can reassess, you can cross-check the information, and on this basis move ahead, as I was saying. So some key elements to almost end up with. Once again, the submissions are never binding. So by participating, by clicking, by expressing interest, you do not create any rights and obligations, so there is really no risk and no reason not to participate. Once matches are done, only participants can decide on what to do next. We are not involved, nobody can force you to anything. If you are contacted, you can reply or you can ignore. There are no automatic matches, it's all in your hands. You probably understood it, so there is no... The system doesn't impose anything on you, doesn't impose any interactions, doesn't promote any particular offers towards you. We reserve a certain right to review some of the submission, in particular those which would be particularly strange or would therefore undermine the credibility of the whole system. The results are not made public. They are visible only to the participants concerned. So it all remains between the parties. It all stays in your hands. Finally, we are here to help. There is an extensive user guide which is updated from time to time based on the different questions or problems that we are made aware of. Please consult it. There's plenty of good information there. Would you not find the answer? We have a dedicated functional mailbox, so you can reach us directly. When it comes to technical issues, there is a dedicated button also on the dashboard, the contact support, because obviously it's about IT. It's less for us. It is then dealt with our very good contractor. So with this, I close my part and hand over back to Maciej.
Thank you, Alex. So we have covered our presentation, I think almost on time, slightly longer because of my long introduction. Before we move to Q&A, 2 points from me. First of all, it is really an opportunity, the platform, the mechanism, and the upcoming offtake side. So you lose nothing by registering and replying to potential supply offers. As you can see, we have managed to collect a sizable group of participants with many, more than 260 projects. So we really very much encourage you on the offtake side, financial institutions as well, to subscribe, and if already subscribed, to participate.